What's up, full pack today? I wasn't really gonna do this, but we're gonna be reviewing The Walking Dead Season 2 Dead City. So this is gonna be a quick review because I got stuff to do. And right now, um, I have somebody on the phone on hold right now. So yeah, this is gonna be a quick review. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna try to summarize the video like I do with every other review. You know, like I go through the scenes and review and give my thoughts on said scenes. But um, if some stuff is out of order, I'm sorry. I apologize. But anyway, so if I remember, the episode starts off. Okay. Okay, so the episode, from what I remember, starts off with Negan in a jail cell. Little confused about that part. Why is he in the jail cell in the first place? Um, if if there's something I missed from last season, I also never reviewed last season, by the way. That's a problem. I thought I did, but yeah. So um yeah, so he's in a jail cell. Probably because like he's new, so it's like obviously, you know, the newcomers are probably jailers, but he gets respected weirdly enough. Like he gets cockroaches from the guy, and then also has him play a song. He gets escorted out to like a main area, and then that's when we see these zombies with spikes and they attack each other. So, yay, new variant of walkers. Okay, so here's a question for hardcore Walking Dead fans. Are variant walkers can variant walkers be man-made or naturally made? Because I always thought that variant walkers were like naturally made rather than man-made, but maybe I'm wrong. But then we cut to Maggie in the town, and there's a public execution, and these people, I'm telling you right now, also YouTube, don't demonetize me, very much Nazi vibes. First off, they have all black suits, and then they have a red band around their waist. Definitely Nazi vibes. And then anybody who dares defy them gets executed. So that's fun. It was just, I do not like these people. They call themselves the Babylon, which that's sad. But anyway, then we cut to them in like a chamber, not a chamber. I think it's like a bar area, but Herschel is like listening to Little Russian Boy. Kind of looks like Richtofen if Richtofen was like just a kid. So I'm gonna call him Richtofen because we haven't learned his name yet. But Herschel, Maggie's kid, if you guys aren't following. Herschel's listening to the Russian kid, and the Russian kid, or Richtofen, is spouting some bullshit, and then Herschel is calling him on his bullshit. I was so worried that the Richtofen was going to be an asshole about it, but actually he was pretty chill. Herschel gave him like drawings of like what the buildings look like, and the rush and Richtofen seemed excited. It was kind of adorable, I'll admit that. But yeah, so definitely Glenn vibes. But that will change. That will change. But then we cut to a court scene of Negan. Definitely that scene gave us old Negan vibes. Definitely. Man, this was insane. So like there's Negan's trying to put together everybody inside of the dead city. He was like saying, "Oh, you guys need to work together," and then people were like mocking him. And then that's when he was like, "Okay, fear is how we get to these people." So Negan grabs the new Lucille bat and like starts intimidating the guy. It doesn't work at first, but the guy grabs Lucille. I don't know if I should call it Lucille. I'm just gonna say the bat for now. But he grabs the bat, and then it like shocks him. And then that's how people go on to Negan's side. And they're like, okay, we'll fight for the city. And Negan's becoming like saying, oh, you guys will fight. I'll make you fight at this point because you guys won't listen to me pleading. So, you know. So yeah. Then it cuts back to Maggie. And Maggie and Herschel are fighting about her going back to the dead city. Herschel's really mad at Maggie because she's leaving again, which like valid, honestly. You haven't seen your mom in like forever and she's immediately about to leave. Like, fair enough. I did not give him enough grace during the episode. I was like, oh my god, shut the fuck up. Because he was acting like a teenager. He was acting like Carl in season 4, which, if you know, that was probably my least favorite arc of Carl, was the whiny bitch boy. And Herschel's showing signs of being that, but also you kind of understand because like he just got his mom back and now she's leaving already. So like I didn't give him enough grace during the episode. I was just like rolling my eyes. But he's very aggressive, which is interesting. Interesting that he has an aggressive side. But he's a very weird character because like he shows signs of being intelligent. He shows signs of being a second Glenn, but then he just randomly has moments of being a brat about things. But it's also, he's not being a brat because like you understand why he's mad at his mom. But yeah. So then there's a trial. Maggie is like about to fight all of the zombies, or is like lining up to fight guards, and the Russian girl is like, oh no, you're not fighting guards, you're fighting zombies, which Maggie's not scared of that. Maggie's probably like, this is pussy shit. Nah, but in all seriousness, Maggie's fighting this, or Maggie's like scared to fight the zombies, but she's going to do it anyway. But then Jenny, which I have not mentioned Jenny yet because she's not that big of a role yet. But she speaks. She talks. She's talking. And she's like about to go to the zombies and stuff. Maggie's trying to stop her. Even the Reverend, I think that's his name, the Reverend, if I remember. I'm gonna call him the Reverend. The Reverend's like, she's just a kid, and the Russian girl's like, the deal was anybody who wants to join will, and we will not force people. So, and Ginny runs into the pit, and Maggie's just like, oh god damn it. And then it seems like they're about to die, but Maggie gets the upper hand and kills the zombies that was about to eat Jenny. So then it cuts again to Herschel's room, and Jenny's like talking to Herschel, like saying, hey, I need my compass back. And Herschel's like, why? And then Maggie explains that, oh, Jenny's going to the island. And then Jenny's just like, you're not my mom, you're nothing to me, which, like, people will probably find that, like, irritating, but I think it's fair. Like, we didn't get any extended, like, relationship between them other than, like, Maggie promised Negan to take care of Jenny. So, it's the only relationship, really. But it's very clear that Jenny is going after Negan. And with that being said, Herschel is like yelling at Maggie, like, let me come with, and Maggie's like, no, you're not coming with. And then Herschel's like, but Jenny gets to go, which, like, dude, you did not just hear the conversation. Obviously, Maggie does not want to go on this trip. Or Maggie does not want Jenny to go with her to Dead City. So Herschel stays back after getting talked down, which, again, he's showing signs of, like, bipolarness, because, like, one minute he's, like, angry, about to rip Maggie's face off, and then the next it's like, okay, whatever you say, mother. So then they're traveling to the Dead City. We see a shot of Negan walking down a corridor. He drops Lucille. I think that is supposed to tell us that he is not the same Negan. Just because he wields the bat and has a leather jacket does not mean he is the old Negan. Which I like. I like that they're actually giving him a permanent character change. Because I was so worried that, especially with that scene where he was smashing the guy's face through the glass in the season 1, I was so worried that they were going to make him go back to his old ways, which would have just been so annoying. I hate when shows do that, but it's the sake for making more stories, but they didn't do that. And then we see Herschel looking at his old drawings, and he's like smiling creepily at this one drawing of the city. More on that later. I think they're pulling a Bucky Barnes. I feel like the woman has some type of, like, code that brainwashes him, and, like, he's still under that control, because once he looks at the lady's photo, he's like smirking a little bit. Then he sees the Dead City, and then he's smiling. Then it cuts, it fades from the drawing into the actual city, and then we are over Pleasant Park, Central Park, and we hear a bunch of zombies, which, me personally, I don't understand. I didn't understand what I was supposed to pick up from that. Oh, zombies. It's The Walking Dead. There's going to be zombies. But yeah. So overall, first episode wasn't really life-changing much, but still not a bad episode. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. It's the first episode, so, like, we can't judge it off of the first episode. It was a pretty good Kickstarter for a lot of the storylines that are going to be happening, like Negan fighting with himself about being a dictator again. But yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications. See you guys later.